Hello everyone. I'm about to do a film of some of my Hokusai paintings and drawings. So we'll start with this lovely scroll of an eagle, and I'll put it on its side, and I can't give that 100%, though it's beautifully painted. It's classic Hokusai, and the seal, you probably can't see it because it's probably too blurred. The Manji Fuji seal and signature is absolutely spot on for his, including all the indentations and his writing. So I would say that's by Hokusai. There are just some areas where the painting's a little loose for him compared to his other eagles, particularly around the claw. The scumbling of the branches is good for him, though sometimes he's a little more precise in those blue dots. He gives more shape to them. They're a touch perfunctory, but apart from that, it's the most magnificent painting, probably by Hokusai, and I love it dearly. Fabulous. Painted in 1840s, around about 1841, 42. Coincided with the signature seal. Then up here we have a drawing which is attributed to Hokusai of a rakan, which is a disciple of Buddha. Very much Hokusai's style. It's hard to get to it. It's sort of up there. It's beautiful. A rakan, disciple of Buddha, done in Hokusai's loose, quick style, quick fluid strokes of a brush, letting the ink run, which Hokusai loves doing. And then we move on. There, that's a drawing attributed to Hokusai of a deity with a drum, and that's illustrated on hokusai.org, which is a website devoted to Hokusai. I'll try and get it so you don't get that bit of light in it. So that's beautiful. Almost certainly 100% Hokusai. Then over here we have two paintings. This one, kakimono scroll of a lady, a geisha, with a child. Let's get it sideways on. That's 100% genuine. It's been illustrated in books. The Fuji Manji seal is absolutely spot on. It's got the small indentation on the right side that you get, and gradually got worse as he used the seal more. Fabulous, amazing drawing of the chrysanthemums and the child. Fabulous, 100% Hokusai. And this one is a mystery because it's a copy, if I'm down here, of this known one, which is in the Freer gallery. So you see that they're the same mochi making figures. But when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's a fake. Lovely misty clouds and Mount Fuji. But the reason I bought it, and this is what remains an enigma, is the seal, which is his final seal, is absolutely spot on with a certain stage of the known originals. Every slight nuance and indentation, I would have to swear that those two seals are exactly the same. So somehow, either it was done in his studio, it was a copy of an earlier one, and he allowed his seal to be used, and it was one of his pupils. But it remains an enigma, because there's another, it's the one which has been copied off them. This version of it is another copy which is very close to mine, and in this one the seal isn't quite right. It uses another one of his seals, but it varies from the original of that seal. So that one was a copy which was auctioned at Bonham's in 2018, but this one, it's the mystery of the seal, which is absolutely spot on. So I love that because of the mystery. And down here in some of my presentation albums, those two there are drawings either from by Hokusai or from his studio. Classic Hokusai again. Classic Hokusai. And I've got a lot of these, and I haven't even had them all framed yet. Even that one's possibility of Hokusai or Hokusai Studio. Very much his. Even the bird one's possibility. Even that one is a possible. That geisha with the obviously doing a ritual is very much in Hokusai style. So I have a lot of these. That one particularly is of those priests in the wind is very Hokusai, the way they're drawn. So I got quite a few of those as yet unmounted. And we come out here. This one is an absolute beauty. It's 100% genuine by Hokusai, large kakemono scroll of Guan Yu, who's the Chinese god of war, and the seal signature is 100% spot on. Painting's beautiful, and Hokusai's disciple Toyota Hokai did an exact copy of this with slightly stronger colours, but this is the original. And there's also a rough drawing of this, was in the Harari collection. It's quite poor condition, so I've already done some of my own repairs on the back of it where there were tears. But it's a lovely, important painting by Hokusai. And then we go upstairs to my studio. There's lots of paintings here by Hiroshige, but they're not part of his story. And here in the landing, that painting there is 100% genuine work of Hokusai. The seal signature's absolutely spot on, lovely Sumai style. The writing is by two of the greatest authors of the day. One who wrote the story of Shank's Mare, which is a story of two rascals travelling the Tokaido Highway. So those are two main authors of the day, have both written poems on it. And that was authenticated and remounted by Kimura Totsuke. And this one here is attributed to Hokusai. It's quite a large, rough sketch, probably for a painting. I can't give that 100%, I've never seen the original painting. It's in Hokusai style. The writing on the frame and behind the drawing says Hokusai. There's writing there. And this little drawing, again, it's authenticated by Kimura Totsuke. He says Hokusai, but it was very easy if these ones just to copy them from his printed books. And this is a scene from one of his printed books. So that may be studio of, or it could just be school of. So a copy. But that one there, I'm quite fond of that. Nicely mounted in an antique Japanese frame. And it's got these different warrior type figures and a warrior monk. So that's interesting. And then we come into my studio. And this painting here is 100% Hokusai, 100% seal, signature, 100% authentic. Lovely mounting. And that painting was from the collection of another famous Japanese woodblock print artist of the late 19th, early 20th century. It's from his collection. And this one here is absolutely magnificent. And it's a large painting by Hokusai, attributed to him, of Gyakushi and her white dragon. That's very large, as you can see the scale of it. And it's got the Manji Fuji seal, but it's a slight variation on it. It's got some anomalies, but there were several different versions of each of his seals done, including the Manji Fuji seal. But the painting in that is just staggering. And it's got the classic, the way he overglazes the white, which you see particularly on the dragon. He overglazes the black paint often with the white paint, creating this sort of glaze. It's an amazing painting. And moving across here, this is a fish painting, 100% authentic by Hokusai. The seal is correct, and he did a second version of this one as a fan with a fish pointing the other way. And this one of a Neo Guardian. There are two black and white versions of this, one in the Met in New York and one in the Seattle Museum of Art. But this is the only colour one I know of. Fabulous painting. And then another drawing attributed to Hokusai, totally his style. That's one of the immortals. And another one, beautiful drawing, another one of Guan Yu, the God of War. And there's an identical one to this, again in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is attributed to Hokusai. This is a second version, which I think was an earlier version he did. And here's a beautiful sketch of a Quillin, which is a sort of mythical beast, totally in Hokusai style. And so I can move my chair across so I can get up to these. This one is a ghoul, sort of graveyard ghoul, and that has got a totally authentic rare Hokusai seal on it. So that one beautiful painting is 100% by Hokusai of a ghoul. And above that is one of Hokusai's lions. He did a lot of these lion paintings, and this one is signed Hokusai. They were widely faked, so I can't give that one 100%. But what for me really stands out in that, as classic Hokusai, quite apart from his artwork, his strokes, is the way he's painted this peony. That's classic Hokusai, particularly the way he lets the ink run in those leaves there. And this one again is a drawing, probably a rough sketch for a print, which was attributed to Hokusai, and the line work is spot on for Hokusai. It's absolutely spot on. I have to do it sideways so you can see it. Okay. Then we come round here. This one I love, of the rabbits, is in Hokusai style. It came with a bundle of Hokusai drawings. I think it's Hokusai. The way he gets the wedges, and it's the Hokusai, it's the rabbits the moon rabbits creating the mochi. And here's a lovely red one. Hokusai often used this red ink, 2 studies. So I think I would attribute that definitely to him. Classic Hokusai, using his red ink. This one I absolutely adore. I think it's a Korean official. It's his black ink, China ink he uses. And there's a second version of that which is signed Hokusai, which I saw once in a book and I loved it. And then suddenly I found this one, which is my own version, which is, I love that, the movement. It's like he did 2 studies. He does different studies of the same figure with varying expressions. And here's one again of the immortal with his radish. And this, I think this is attributed to Hokusai. I think that's spot on. The style is spot on for Hokusai. It's not Hotai, it's the other one whose name's escaping me at the moment. But he has a giant radish he carries around. That's just 100% how Hokusai does the leaves. And this one here, 100% Hokusai. This is the raccoon, a priest who was a raccoon, who was a magic raccoon. And he had this pot of tea which never ran dry, it's forever filling up. So there you can see him. This was a rough sketch Hokusai did for another larger painting, which again was in the Harari collection. And there it's got the same seal on both paintings, that spot on seal and signature 100%. And this little fellow was part of two paintings by Hokusai I bought recently. Seal and signature spot on. It's his written seal, which he used sometimes throughout his life. And that's one of a pair. I love that painting of the man holding the red scroll of bamboo. And this one is a coloured version of one which again is in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington. They've only got a black and white one, and it's of these acrobats. And it's that same immortal in the front. But that's 100% Hokusai. It's unsigned, but it's an exact second version of the one in the Smithsonian Institute. And this one here is the one that goes, it's a pair to that one of the sage holding the scroll. And this one's a lovely little landscape of pine trees and huts. And that's in volume 3. There's a version of that volume 3 of his manga books, where he's giving demonstrations of how to draw landscapes. Now this scroll here is absolutely magnificent. It's a makimono, which means it's horizontal, and it's 13 different paintings by Hokusai. So I'm only going to show you 4 of them because it's too difficult to, but look at that. That's a woodcutter in the snow. And the way he lets the ink run is absolutely classic. And the way he drags the black brush, you see that over and over. He lets the black ink almost run out. And this one of the duck on the water is achingly beautiful and is absolutely classic Hokusai. It's almost my favourite of all my Hokusais, that one. I'm keeping them in the makimono rather than separating them because it authenticates the other ones, because there's quite a lot of floral ones which on their own you wouldn't know they were necessarily by Hokusai. This is the Sparrow Dance, of which he did a very famous version of this one, which is in widely illustrated in books, and this is another version of it. And that's a lovely painting of swallows. I love seeing those two, the Sparrow Dance and the Swallow one, together. Almost you sort of, he captures the rhythm. It's lovely he put those two paintings together. And again, even in this one, you've got the way he drags the black brush. You see that so often. It's almost partly how I authenticate them. The way he drags the brush as the brush wears down. Now moving over here, this is a series of Shunga paintings. I think these are probably copies, but they're beautifully painted, but they're based on prints of his. And Shunga was a sort of erotic Japanese art. You have to distinguish Shunga from pornography. It's not pornography, it's erotic art, which is incredibly beautiful. The line and the way he gets these sort of circular compositions is just magnificent. And there's another one here. These are beautiful paintings, but they could well be copies because they also feature as black and white images in some of his printed books, and they were widely copied in the 1880s, 1890s. Now here is a whole set of drawings which are mostly Shunga but